Hello, and welcome back to Unfuck Your Money. I'm your host, Nadine Samot, somatic practitioner and money coach. So, today we're gonna get real. Let's get real. Most of us don't overspend because we desperately need yet another candle or that new tech gadget or the fourth pair of sneakers. We overspend because something deeper is happening in our nervous system. And today we're going to talk about the hidden reasons why you're swiping your card. Reasons like people pleasing, boredom, rebellion, and even revenge. Yes, revenge spending is a real thing, and I promise you that you've done it. So have I. So let's get into it. Let's start with people pleasing. So, you know the drill. You're out with your friends, everybody's ordering cocktails, appetizers, maybe desserts. And even though your bank account is giving you that, what are you doing, side eye look, you keep saying yes. You keep ordering more. Why? Because deep down, your nervous system equates saying no with being with rejection, with not being accepted, with not belonging. Spending money here isn't about the meal, it's about buying belonging, acceptance, and keeping the peace. The deeper need here is connection, safety in relationships, being loved for who we are, not what we pay for. So, this is, I'm not talking about just normal, going out and spending money. I'm talking about, you're in a financial crunch, but you keep going out and spending money you don't have. You keep charging things on your credit card. And I just want to let you know it's not because you're flawed, not because you can't be trusted with money. It's because what you're really craving is more safety in your relationships and more connection and to be loved. The next thing we're going to talk about is boredom. You're scrolling, you feel restless, and suddenly that Instagram ad for that self heating coffee mug looks like it's the answer to your soul's emptiness. So, boredom overspending happens because your nervous system is craving stimulation, and spending gives you a quick dopamine hit. But the deeper need here is to feel alive, is to play, is for creativity, which, spoiler alert, you cannot order on Amazon Prime. And next, let's talk about rebellion spending. Now, that one's juicy. Rebellion spending is when your inner teenager takes over. So your inner teenager is in there, it takes over, and it thinks, oh, fuck all these strict budgets and rules and financial advice that's been shoved down your throat for all your life. And that's probably because you grew up in a controlling household like me. Like, I grew up with a very strict father, especially when it came to money. And I have such a rebellious streak. And I know that's when my inner teenager is like, no, we are not going to be controlled. So you find yourself saying, fuck that. No one's going to tell me how to live. And suddenly you're swiping your card like it's an act of liberation. The deeper need here isn't the shoes, isn't the adventure or the trip. It's actually a sense of freedom. It's actually a sense of being in control of your life, that sense of autonomy and the power to choose for yourself. And the last one is revenge spending. Like I said, revenge spending is real. Think breakups, think quitting a job, think being overlooked or underappreciated. It's that moment when you are telling yourself, watch me, and I'm going to prove to you that you're all wrong. So your nervous system here is in fight mode. It's trying to reclaim your dignity, your sense of worth through purchases. The deeper need here is like you really need to feel respected. You really need that recognition to be seen as valuable, and you can do that without burning a hole in your wallet. So the thing is, like, there's nothing wrong with needing to feel connected. There's nothing wrong with needing to play or needing to feel alive or needing to be seen as valuable. There's nothing wrong with that. But we can meet these core needs without like just putting ourselves into financial chaos, because what we're doing here is that we're not, none of us were taught how to meet our core needs. Actually, none of us were taught what our core needs are and how important they are, because when your core needs are not met, you are actually in psychological stress. When you're in psychological stress, your nervous system actually acts from survival, and that's what happens in terms of like what it looks like financially, right? So it's not about laziness, it's not about a lack of willpower. It's your protector parts that are doing their best to help you meet these unmet core needs, because when they're not met, you're actually under stress. Okay, so whether it's people pleasing, whether it's boredom, whether it's rebellion, whether it's revenge, your overspending has always been a way to self-regulate, self-soothe, and to stay safe. So these are very, very clever protective mechanisms. However, they are burning a hole in your wallet. They're creating chaos in your life, and it's just a cycle of like, you have unmet core needs. You don't even know you have unmet core needs, but I'm telling you here and now. And you're satiating that craving through in a way that will never scratch that itch, because you're just buying things and you still feel empty, and you're just doing it and doing it and doing it, and that's a cycle. Keep on going. Add to that the buyer's remorse, shame, and guilt, and that feeling, that yucky feeling that you cannot trust yourself with money. This is all very unpleasant. The best part is that when you start listening to those deeper needs and working with your nervous system, overspending will be reduced. Even sometimes with my clients, it stops. Okay, that stops that chaotic cycle. You stop trying to buy love, you stop trying to create a sense of play or freedom or excitement in your life, because you learn how to meet these core needs directly. And that is exactly what I'm going to be teaching you inside my new self-paced program, Empowered Spender. That is where I'm going to help you untangle those patterns, calm your nervous system, and actually start trusting yourself with money without needing to rely on willpower or rigid budgets. So if this episode had you laughing at yourself or maybe wincing a little bit in recognition, Empowered Spender is your next step. So it comes out in October 2025, so in a couple of weeks, and you can jump on the waitlist that is in the show notes to get 50% off for a few days in October. So, my friend, thank you so much for joining me inside of Unfuck Your Money. Today's deep dive is just to help you reveal the reasons why you overspend. Remember, your overspending isn't random. It isn't because you're broken. It's a brilliant survival strategy from your nervous system. Just sometimes it's misdirected. Okay, so once you start understanding your core needs, the core needs that are underneath, that are driving the overspending, you can start spending from a place of empowerment, not regret. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you next time on Unfuck Your Money.